All right, welcome back. I'm going to start with, first of all, a message from Adegoke. Adegoke from Isheri says, any transfer news on Arsenal? Yes, Adegoke, that's what we're going to start with today. Kai Havertz, of course, there is supposed to be some competition from Bayern Munich. But the thing is, I am shocked how Mikel Arteta is fixated on Kai Havertz. And the price Chelsea are calling 70 to 80 million.
No, you can't get 70 to 80 million. It's never
for
possible.
Kai Havertz. But the news is that Bayern Munich might just be there, but Arsenal are going for Kai Havertz. Of course, that is after Declan Rice, who is their priority target. Kai Havertz to Arsenal or Bayern Munich, what do you think about such a transfer? This is 3 years off Bayern Leverkusen. When people think about Kai Havertz, they always think that Chelsea, that lacuna, they're always thinking about the Leverkusen. Kai Havertz. He's not the same person.
You know, the system actually fits a player. The system at Bayern Leverkusen is different from what they have at Chelsea. So I think whenever he goes for Germany, you see what he does at Germany. Same thing with Timo Werner suffered too. Werner went back to Leipzig and then he had a wonderful time. So for me, I think coming to Arsenal, Arteta doesn't buy flops. Okay, if you want to mention Fabio Vieira is just settling in, coming into a new league. But you have Kai Havertz, who actually has experience of over 2 years in the Premier League. So I would actually like Mikel Arteta to get him, but the money Chelsea are requesting is too much.
It's too much.
Considering the fact that it's not in the ground running yet.
All right. Sam, let's move on to our next story there. We have Kim. Kim Min-jae was supposed to, Manchester United were supposed to be interested and pick up Kim Min-jae, but as it stands now, Bayern have a free road, and I think that in the next 2 or 3 days maximum, Bayern might just complete a transfer for Kim Min-jae.
I am baffled. Like, seriously, we were here last week when I was describing this player, and then with all of that, it's as if the guys at Bayern Munich heard me and decided, so no, we must go for this guy. If he's equal to 3 Manchester United defenders.
3-1.
So, and then they just decided to go for him, and it's Bayern. Once they come for a player, they do their diligent work. I don't know. We're talking about 60 million here. And I think it's what Manchester United could have just decided to let's get this guy. His buyout clause is known. But unfortunately, whatever Eric Ten Hag and his guys at the back end are looking at, Bayern Munich seems to be getting Kim, and it will be a fantastic one with Kim, with Pamecano, with Mathis De Ligt. They are building a very
good defense. Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's move on to our next story now. We have Caicedo. Now, just in January, Arsenal were ready to... Were they ready to offer 70 million?
Yes.
They were ready.
They submitted,
and Brighton
were rejected.
said
No, we're not selling.
He signed a new contract, and I think the reason was that so that maybe they can get money
for him in summer.
But as it stands, the one who people call the Mad Hatter of the transfer window, that's talking about Todd Bowley, owner of Chelsea, might just be picking up this guy, might just be ready for Caicedo. And as N'Golo Kante, of course, is moving to Al Nassr. But the point is, with all that they already have in midfield, do they need Caicedo?
Well, I think they want a replacement for N'Golo Kante is moving to the Saudi Arabian League. And you want somebody, if you look at the history of Chelsea, they've had black midfielders all through. You have Makalele, you've had Kante, you've had Mikel Obi. And then there's one other black midfielder they've had, Essien. So every time they win, they have black midfielders. Maybe it is their own luck, now they need to get a black midfielder. But for me, I think Caicedo you're bringing in for 60 million will never sit on the bench.
He won't.
And it is Mauricio Pochettino who is actually coming in. So I believe it's a good buy for Chelsea. If they
and I think it can really work.
I've been
thinking about it, Enzo and Caicedo, but then I remember
double pivot.
Musa Dembele and Wanyama under the same Pochettino. They were arguably the best pairing at that time.
For that time, for him.
So I feel maybe he can find a way to put Caicedo and Enzo to
play together. Wonderful. Okay, Mason Mount. That's still talking about Chelsea. Mason Mount is in the news. It all started with a rumor to Liverpool that Liverpool or Jurgen Klopp was interested in Mason Mount. But now it seems more likely that Eric Ten Hag might just be the one to snag Mason Mount.
But they're asking for a lot of money. I'm seeing something 60. Around the 80. I'm like,
they said they want to recoup all their FFP money. I don't understand.
It is not possible for Chelsea to get this.
Afis calls in pounds.
Last season actually brought the stocks of Chelsea players down. And you cannot expect us, okay, don't let me say us, you cannot expect clubs to pay as much as 70, 60 for your players. Even Havertz of 60, it is not fixed. Arsenal want to pay 50 million thereabout, and then the remaining 10 will be for add-ons. You're not even paying at once. Arsenal wants to pay in batches. So, you know, It's actually funny how Chelsea are requesting over the board for these players, and they are surplus to requirements.
That's the thing. You've got a large squad. You need to trim down those squad, whether you like it or not. Yes, some players have been released. Some are going.
Kovacic is
looks
leaving,
likely.
Yeah.
Kante is likely. And then
they need to clear out.
There's a thing about Koulibaly also
going to Saudi Arabia.
So yes,
someone mentioned that their dressing room now they lap each other for
no, then they do massive clearance sales.
massive clearance. All right, clearance sales. All right, moving on from that now. David De Gea, and the talk is that Erik ten Hag might just have a problem with David De Gea being his number one. Now, something quite interesting. David De Gea has 1 year left.
No, it's
This season.
Expiring
end of this month.
as the most expensive. The highest paid player,
Premier League.
or the
So they
salary,
want him to-
400,000. So they want him to drop his demands, which is reasonable. If you don't want to drop, about go.
You go.
But the point is now is that do you think David De Gea can still be Manchester United number one?
Even
Should
if-
he sign?
even if
Is it a
stays.
good move for him to sign?
Yes.
New contract.
As a
stay.
goalkeeper, if you get in about 4 or 5 years being the player of the season as a goalkeeper, you don't want to lose that. And it's quite good. Yes, he does have his off days, which he had some this season. And also he was
Many,
quite...
not some, many.
Yeah. So, and there were many times as well, much more time that he saved Manchester United. Someone will say he's doing his job. But days that he had bad days in office, everyone comes at him. They should get him. They are allowing Dean Henderson contract at Nottingham Forest to continue. So they should try and secure him for at least one more year. If they're bringing Henderson back...
No, they want to bring Costa from
Diogo
Porto.
Costa, yeah. There's that talk of bringing Diogo Costa. Good one. But they just lost, in my own opinion, a player like Dean Henderson, who is a through and through.
Manchester United,
They
yeah.
decided to bring back instead.
All right. Okay. Finally, we have Kyle Walker, who just won a treble with Manchester City, and we know Pep. We know Pep. There's Rico Lewis. We've already seen him, raising that boy and all of that. As a left back. But Pep, Cancelo. Do you know was he left or right or center?
Anyway,
if they do. You understand?
play.
But the point now is that there's talk that he was not happy with his playtime, which was about the same thing with Cancelo, and he might just be moving to Bayern Munich.
Well, I think if Pep opens it, if you tell Pep I want to leave, Pep will gladly open the door.
need a hoop.
Because
You need
if
a
it
hoop.
feels
You
like
don't
you're not Messi, you can be replaced. Even without Messi as won the Champions League. So what are you saying?
Good, but Bayern needs to set their own... They have about 3 right backs at the moment.
Pavard.
Pavard, Mazuri, Bunasa. And then, there's those Josip Snasic, the Croatian, who can play both flanks. So why do you need a 33-year-old
Kyle Walker.
If he's still delivering. Old wine.
The way that they talk, let's say Baba need all this word for them to go there.
No.
Yes, there's a likelihood of Pavard leaving. There's that one. It's probably most
Pavard
likely.
can play centre back
Bunasa
too,
will
though.
probably be released.
Okay.
So they're just going to be with Stanisic. And then
And then Kim now enter into the
Kim, Jay.
yeah.
Guys, we have to go.